Do you recognise one of the grandest ships that ever carried the British flag?
Georgic is the first big ship to be launched from a British shipyard.
She had a wonderful war record, sinking 2 enemy submarines and carrying thousands of troops in safety. They called her the Old Reliable.
Dudley. A place with burnt bins, druggies. A place where plants grow out of the buildings. No, seriously. But most importantly, a place with no theatre, no art. Think of Dudley like the UK's dumping ground. A place where even the locals often find themselves wondering what they did in a past life to wind up here. Well, once upon a time, Dudley wasn't like this. Once upon a time, there were 2 cinemas and a hippodrome in Dudley that brought culture and entertainment to the town. In today's video, we will take a look into the history of one of these great buildings. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dudley Hippodrome. Castle Hill, the future site of the Dudley Hippodrome, was originally occupied by Opera House from 1899 to 1936, when it caught fire and burnt down. The owner of the Opera House, Bob Kennedy, was concerned about the loss of jobs for the 30 people who worked there. Because of this and many other reasons, he would decide to replace the Opera House with a cinema and a new theatre. The new Hippodrome's architect was a man named Hurley Robinson. The Hippodrome would begin construction in July of 1937. This process would prove to be uneventful, leading to the Hippodrome's opening on the 19th of December 1938. The Hippodrome's first headline act was Jack Hyleton and his band. This wouldn't be the last famous act in the Hippodrome though, as in 1947 the comedy duo Laurel and Hardy would perform in the Hippodrome, which must have been annoying for the guests in the hotel over the road. But if you could deal with the noise that the Hippodrome most likely produced, you could probably enjoy a performance from the singer, actor and comedian George Formby, as he would do a few performances within the Hippodrome during its lifetime. In 1954, the comedian Tommy Cooper and singer Eva Boswell would perform a production of The King of Hearts within the venue. Then, in 1958, the Hippodrome would sell out of seats due to a Paul Anka concert. However, despite these successes, the Hippodrome would frequently suffer from financial problems, leading to its sale in 1958. These problems would only worsen after its sale, as it would often find itself closed more often than it was opened. Then, in March of 1964, the Hippodrome would be sold again and converted into a bingo hall and a nightclub, which must have proved somewhat successful as the gambling company Ladbrokes would purchase the Hippodrome and rename it to Caesar's Palace in 1973. The building would operate like this until it was decided to fully convert it into a bingo hall. The Hippodrome's time as a bingo hall would come to an end in 2009, when it was closed and sold to Dudley Council, who would immediately plan to demolish the building, much to the dismay of many of the former patrons to the Hippodrome. This led to one group, the Black Country Hippodrome Limited, taking possession of the theatre in 2016. Unfortunately though, the Hippodrome would only be in their ownership for 2 years, as in 2018 the Dudley Council took the building back, citing a lack of progress for the reason. This would spell the end for the Dudley Hippodrome, as despite many protests, the building would be stripped and prepared to be demolished to make way for a new college campus. Demolition of the building would begin on the 3rd of August 2023, much to the dismay of many locals, closing the curtain on the showplace of the West Midlands. Those of you who watch my channel may know that this is a bit of a different kind of content for me, so you're probably wondering why I decided to cover this topic. And my answer to that is simple. The Dudley Hippodrome is a cautionary tale, a story that seems to repeat itself over and over again. An ongoing example being the SS United States, a symbol of American pride, a remnant of a time lost to us, soon to be converted into nothing more but a wreck despite the best efforts and the protests from groups who wish to save it. And unfortunately, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, as we are unfortunately unable to stop the greed of big corporations from erasing our history. Bit of a dull note I know, but it's something to think about. Anyways, thank you for watching. Goodbye.